San Francisco 49ers are set to take on the Arizona Cardinals, as you know, on Sunday. But then they follow that game up against the Seattle Seahawks on Thursday, and then the Kansas City Chiefs the following Sunday. I don't think it's hyperbole to say that this is the most important three-game regular season stretch that the San Francisco 49ers have had in this regime's era. You look at the San Francisco 49ers, this is supposed to be a Super Bowl year. Most likely the last real year that this team as constructed is going to have a chance to go and have Super Bowl aspirations. And then a lot's going to have to change after this. And if Brock Purdy is who everybody says he is, then eventually they'll be right back in the mix again. But for now, they'll probably take a year or two back step as they kind of retool or rebuild this whole thing. So if that is the case, then that means that this three-game stretch is really going to define this season, in my opinion. Let's look at the Arizona Cardinals first. Divisional game, a game that the 49ers absolutely should win. The Arizona Cardinals are 1-3, just came off of a disastrous loss to their ex-head coach in Cliff Kingsbury and the Washington Commanders. So that should be a win. But it's a much-needed win because it'll be the first win that the 49ers have had within the NFC and the first win in the NFC West. But then they follow that up in Seattle on Thursday Night Football. Short turnaround, absolutely, but it is for both teams. The Seattle Seahawks and the 49ers are going to fight that game for the number one spot in the NFC West. And I know it's early. I mean, if the 49ers lose that game, it doesn't necessarily mean they can't win the NFC West, but it certainly becomes a lot harder. You know, let's say Seattle wins this week and then beats San Francisco next week. Effectively, they'll have a 2.5 game lead on them, and the 49ers have to beat them no matter what in the second time that they meet during the season. And then you've got the Kansas City Chiefs, which, listen, I get the Kansas City Chiefs are not in the NFC, so it doesn't have importance as far as that goes. But we're talking about a team that completely owns the San Francisco 49ers and has a major mental edge on them. The San Francisco 49ers cannot lose that game. Just like the following week, if the Dallas Cowboys are to make the playoffs, they better beat the 49ers the week after when the 49ers play the Chiefs and then play the Cowboys, because if they don't, how do you muster up any sort of mental fortitude to say that you can beat the San Francisco 49ers if you play them in the playoffs? They've beaten you every single time that you've played in the regular season in recent past, and they've beaten you twice in the playoffs. Same thing for the Kansas City Chiefs. If the Kansas City Chiefs beat the San Francisco 49ers in a few short weeks and then you face off in the Super Bowl, they have the total mental edge. Now, I don't think that game for the Kansas City Chiefs means near as much, but for the San Francisco 49ers, that game means everything. They have to come away with that win because Kyle Shanahan at this point is 0-4 versus the Kansas City Chiefs when they are coached by Andy Reid. Brock Purdy is 0-1, not that big of a deal, but if he falls to 0-2, you see Deebo Samuel has lost a few games, George Kittle's lost a few games to him, Bosa, I mean the whole crew, Fred Warner. So this game's very, very important. So this 3-game stretch is not only going to define the season, the regular season, but I think it has implications come playoff time as well. Tell me what you think down in the comment section. Appreciate y'all for tuning in per usual. And here we go. Arizona Cardinals division game coming up in just 2 short days. Cannot wait. The San Francisco 49ers should come away with a relatively easy victory.